Throughout human history, among the few most terrifying tyrants known to mankind, Pharaoh stands at the very top. Whenever examples of brutal oppression are mentioned, his name appears before all. Pharaoh was not just a tyrant ruler, he claimed to be the Lord and God of his people. Arrogance blinded him so deeply that he dared to challenge Allah himself. Despite one divine punishment after another, he refused to submit, and finally his pride was shattered in the depths of the Red Sea. The Quran mentions Pharaoh at least 74 times across 27 surahs, proof of how important his story is as a lesson for humanity. Respected viewers, today I present to you this well-known history in a completely new form. Stay with us till the end. In ancient Egypt, its rulers were called pharaohs. Among them was Ramses II, who ruled around 3,300 years ago during the era of Prophet Musa, Moses. His story is detailed in the Quran. To understand the significance of the events between Musa, and Pharaoh Ramses II, we must go back several centuries, to the era of Prophet Yusuf, Joseph. The Pharaoh of Yusuf's time was a kind and just ruler named Amenhotep. Though he was originally an idol worshiper like his ancestors, after meeting Prophet Yusuf, he embraced monotheism and even took a new name, Akhenaten. He honored Yusuf greatly and appointed him as his chief advisor and minister of finance. Prophet Yusuf's father was Yaqub, also known as Israel. His descendants became known as Bani Israel. One of Yusuf's brothers was Yahuda, Judah, from whom the terms Yahud, Jews, and Hebrews originated. When a severe 7-year drought devastated the region, the Israelites migrated from Canaan, present-day Palestine, to Egypt, where, due to Yusuf's guidance in interpreting the Pharaoh's dream, Egypt survived the famine. But after Yusuf and Akhenaten's era, Egypt slowly abandoned monotheism and returned to idol worship. Over approximately 4 centuries, everything changed. Then came Pharaoh Ramses II, a tyrant blinded by power who considered himself a god. Under him, Bani Israel faced unimaginable oppression. Once honored as contributors to Egypt's survival, the Israelites were now reduced to slaves. They were forced to labor like beasts in constructing massive monuments, including pyramids and temples. Anyone born into an Israelite family automatically became a slave. Refusal to work resulted in lashes from overseers. Learning and education were strictly forbidden for them. If an Israelite child was found studying, the entire family could be executed. Israelite women were even more vulnerable. Royal officials could abduct them at will, answerable to no one. For hundreds of years, the Israelites endured humiliation, slavery, and bloodshed. At this time, Allah sent his prophet Musa to liberate them. But shortly before Musa's birth, Pharaoh's astrologers predicted that a male child would soon be born among the Israelites who would destroy his kingdom. Terrified, Pharaoh ordered the slaughter of all newborn Israelite boys. But Allah protected his future prophet. Musa's mother received divine inspiration to place her infant into a basket and cast it into the Nile. The basket drifted to Pharaoh's palace, where his wife Asiya, childless and compassionate, rescued the baby and raised him as her own. Musa grew up as a prince, unaware of his true lineage. He became Egypt's finest warrior, conquering lands for Pharaoh and earning love from the common people because of his fairness. But one day, a series of events revealed his true identity as an Israelite. Pharaoh was enraged, but could not bring himself to kill Musa, whom he had raised since infancy. Instead, he banished him from Egypt. Musa wandered for years, eventually marrying and living in exile for a decade. Then, on Mount Sinai, he received prophethood when Allah spoke to him through miraculous light. Allah commanded him to return to Egypt and call Pharaoh to the worship of the one true God. Musa returned and warned Pharaoh, performing miracles by Allah's permission, his staff turning into a serpent that devoured the illusions of Pharaoh's magicians. Realizing the truth, the magicians embraced faith, infuriating Pharaoh. But Pharaoh refused to free Bani Israel. Instead, he intensified the oppression. Musa warned him repeatedly of divine punishment. Soon, calamities struck, swarms of locusts, plagues of frogs, insects, diseases, and destruction. The Nile turned foul, fish died, crops failed, the entire kingdom fell into chaos, yet Musa and the Israelites remained unharmed. Still, Pharaoh remained arrogant. Finally, after years of defiance, Allah sent the most devastating punishment: the death of every firstborn among the Egyptians. When Pharaoh awoke to find his only son dead, he broke down in tears and rushed to Musa. He admitted defeat and allowed Musa to take the Israelites and leave Egypt. The Israelites began their long journey into the unknown. But days later, consumed by pride and incited by advisors, Pharaoh changed his mind and marched with his army to annihilate them. As the Israelites reached the Red Sea, they saw Pharaoh's army approaching. Panic erupted. There was no escape. Sea ahead, soldiers behind. At that desperate moment, Allah commanded Musa to strike the sea with his staff. The waters parted, creating towering walls on both sides and a dry path between them. Musa led the Israelites safely across. Pharaoh witnessed this miracle, but remained blinded by arrogance. He and his army charged into the sea. When they reached the middle, the waters collapsed with thunderous force, drowning the entire army. While drowning, Pharaoh finally confessed and pleaded for forgiveness. But it was too late. His repentance came at the moment of death, and Allah did not accept it. Yet Allah preserved his body as a sign for future generations. Pharaoh believed power was everything. He thought his throne would make him immortal. But in the final moments beneath the dark waves, he realized the truth. It is Allah alone who controls all things. Musa, survived because he walked the path of truth. Pharaoh perished because arrogance blinded him. Today, the preserved body of Pharaoh stands as a living reminder for humanity. Truth never loses. Injustice never lasts. And whoever trusts in Allah, the skies, the seas, the mountains, and all creation stand by him.